once upon a time when there was magic everywhere. There lived a boy named Peter and his grandfather in a cottage near the edge of a great forest. Between the cottage and the forest there was a beautiful green meadow. And early one morning, Peter went down the walk unlatched the gate and went out into the meadow. On the branch of a big tree sat a little bird, Peter's friend.
Good morning, Bird.
Good morning, Peter. What are you doing about so early?
Oh, it's such a beautiful morning, I thought I'd go for a walk in the meadow.
Be careful. A wolf might have the same thought.
But Peter paid no attention to the bird, for like most boys his age, he was utterly fearless. Just then, a duck came waddling down the walk, for Peter had left the gate unlatched.
What are you doing this far from home? You know you're not allowed out past the gate.
It was such a beautiful morning, I thought I'd go for a nice long swim in the pond.
Seeing the duck, the bird flew down onto the grass and settled next to it.
Be careful. A wolf might have the same thought.
You must be a very foolish bird indeed if you don't know that wolves don't like to swim.
The bird merely shrugged its shoulders.
What kind of a bird are you if you can't fly?
What kind of a bird are you if you can't swim?
And the duck dived into the pond. They argued and argued, the duck swimming in the pond and the little bird hopping along the shore.
I could swim if I wanted to. I just don't like to get my feet wet.
Do you call those feet? They're not even webbed.
Suddenly, something caught Peter's attention. He saw a large black cat slowly crawling through the grass. Peter knew what the cat was thinking to himself.
While that silly bird is busy arguing, I'll pounce on him. Oh, my, what a delicious breakfast he's going to make.
Stealthily, he crept toward the bird on his velvet paws. Nearer and nearer.
Bird, look out!
The bird flew up into the tree, while the duck quacked angrily at the cat from the middle of the pond. The cat walked round the tree and thought to himself.
Well, is it worth climbing up so high? By the time I get up there, the bird will have flown away.
Just then, Peter's grandfather came out of the cottage.
Peter, where are you?
Over here, Grandfather, by the tree.
What are you doing so far from home?
I wanted to go for a walk.
And what if a wolf came out of the forest? What would you do then?
But Peter paid no attention to his grandfather's words, since he wasn't afraid of wolves. So his grandfather took Peter by the hand.
Peter, come with me.
And they went down the lane. And Peter's grandfather opened the gate and locked it with a resounding clang.
If there's one important thing for you to learn, It's that boys should be afraid of wolves.
No sooner was Peter safely behind the gate than a big gray wolf did come out of the forest. In a twinkling, the cat had climbed up the tree and was screaming.
Help! A wolf is trying to eat a poor innocent pussycat.
Help! Help!
And
Help!
the duck became so excited
Ow.
she jumped right out of the pond. But no matter how hard the duck tried to run, she couldn't escape the wolf.
Help!
The wolf was getting closer and closer, catching up with her.
Help! Help! Help!
And then he caught her and swallowed her in one gulp. Imagine the picture. The cat was sitting on one branch of the tree. The bird on another. But not too close to the cat, of course. And beneath the tree, the wolf walked round and round, watching them with hungry eyes. In the meantime, Peter, behind the closed gate, was watching all that was going on. And then Peter had an inspiration.
Don't worry, Bird. Don't worry, Cat. I'll save you.
Peter ran into the cottage, got a strong rope, and climbed up the high stone wall. One of the branches of the tree round which the wolf was walking stretched over the wolf.
Now I'll climb out on the branch.
Poor Peter. Now you're no better off than the cat and I.
Fly down and circle around the wolf's head. But take care he doesn't catch you.
The bird flew so close to the wolf that he almost touched the wolf's head with his wings, while the wolf snapped angrily at him from this side and that. Well, the bird did worry that wolf. First, he attacked him from the left, and then from the right. And finally, the bird was moving so fast that it must have seemed to the wolf that the bird was all around him at once. And how that wolf wanted to catch him. But the bird was too clever for him, and the wolf simply couldn't do anything about it. While the bird was distracting the wolf, Peter made a noose of the rope and carefully let it down. And he caught the wolf by the tail and held on for dear life.
Look out, Peter! He'll get away!
But Peter tied the other end of the rope to the tree, and the wolf's jumping only made the noose tighter and tighter around his tail.
I've got him! I've got him!
Just then, some hunters came out of the woods. Following the wolf's trail and shooting as they came. But Peter, sitting in the tree, called to them.
Don't shoot! The bird and I have already caught the wolf. Will you help us take him to the zoo?
And off they went. What a triumphant procession it was. Peter led the way. And after him came the hunters leading the wolf. And bringing up the rear, Peter's grandfather and the cat.
Aren't you proud of me, Grandfather? I caught a wolf all my very own.
And suppose the wolf had caught you. He would have had a little boy all his very own.
And the bird flew round their heads. Chortling merrily.
My, what brave people we are, Peter and I. Look what we have caught.
And if one listened very carefully, he could hear the duck quietly quacking inside the wolf. Because in the wolf's hurry, he had swallowed the duck alive.
Once upon a time, there lived a little melody. Celeste was her name, and she was the loneliest melody in her town because
I don't belong to anyone at all.
almost all the other melodies in the town belonged to someone. Clocks tick-tocked and rang their bells, and even the houses puffed songs through their chimney stacks. But as for Celeste,
I don't belong to anyone at all. Perhaps if I went to the marketplace, I might find someone who wanted me.
but no one would pay any attention to Celeste, except the King's Herald.
And whose little tune are you?
I fear I don't belong to anyone.
What? An orphan? Then it's off to Miss Squeaks with you.
And so Celeste found herself in the gloomy house of Miss Squeak, who was in charge of all the little orphan melodies in the town. Miss Squeak had a very sharp tongue and a very sharp temper. And her voice.
Quiet, child, quiet. I don't like tunes that tinkle.
And all the other little orphan melodies peeped from behind chairs and tables and doors. Some of them were marching tunes. And some of them were dances, and some of them just whistled. They smiled at Celeste, and Celeste smiled back.
Smiling is against the rules. Now to bed with all of you.
And that night, Celeste cried herself to sleep. Many, many days passed, and every day Miss Squeak would shout at Celeste.
Do this, now do that.
Over and over, faster and faster.
Do this, do that, now go to bed. Do this, do that, now go to bed.
And every night when her work was done, Celeste would sit at her window and think to herself.
Perhaps tomorrow someone will come and ask me to be his melody.
And at last, early one morning, Celeste heard the voice of the Royal Herald.
Hear ye, hear ye! His Highness Prince Cello invites all orphan tunes to come to the ball, where the prince will choose the fairest of them all.
And so they came. First, the gentlemen woodwinds, all dressed in silver and black. And then the handsome Prince Cello himself. And the ladies, all violins in their gleaming dresses. and the knights in silver and gold, the trumpets and trombones. And the big fat cooks, the double basses and the tubas. And bringing up the rear, the court jester, the xylophone. Celeste sadly watched as all the guests marched down the street towards the palace.
If only Prince Cello would choose me for his very own melody.
The prince would never choose a silly, tinkly tune like you. Do you think you're going to the ball? Ha!
And with that, Miss Squeak threw Celeste into a dark closet and locked the door. Celeste sadly brushed a tear away.
I wonder if I'm pretty. I think it's such a pity to be a melody like me, the loneliest tune in the city. I wish the prince would say, "Come dance with me, I pray." But who would ever dance, perchance, with the loneliest tune in the city?
Suddenly, a little brown mouse popped out of his hole and said, "What's a nice tune like you doing here? You should be at the ball with them all."
Miss Squeak said no and locked me in.
"Then I'll go gnaw and let you out," said the mouse, and he ran across the floor and began to gnaw at it as fast as his sharp little teeth could go. And in no time at all, he'd chewed a big hole in the door of the closet, and off to the palace ran Celeste.
Right this way, tuning in the outer lobby only, please. Hear ye! Prince Cello is ready to judge every tune. Make ready for the prince as he enters the room.
Prince Cello walked to his throne.
Very well. Let's begin. The first tune in the contest will be Miss Mary Scherzo.
The prince shook his head.
Miss Jenny Polka. Miss Dora Dirge.
The prince listened to tune after tune, and still he shook his head.
Next, please.
This time it was Celeste.
Celeste! How dare you come to the ball?
Everyone stared at Celeste and chattered in excitement.
Silence! All orphan tunes are welcome here. Let her sing. Why, she's very beautiful. And I choose her for my melody. May I have this dance, Celeste? And every dance you dance tonight?
With pleasure, Your Highness. I'm so happy I could dance forever.
And for all you know, maybe she did dance forever.
Once upon a time, when there was magic everywhere, there was an orchestra that was all busy tuning up. First, the oboe gave his A to the strings. To the woodwinds. To the brass. Up and around the scales they raced, faster and faster. All but Tubby the Tuba. A fat little tuba, puffing away, but oh so slowly. Tubby sighed and turned to the piccolo, who was sitting on his right.
Oh, what lovely music. Isn't it sad?
Isn't what sad?
Every time we do a new piece, everyone gets such pretty melodies to play, except for me.
But people never write pretty melodies for a tuba. It just isn't done. Oh, shh, here's the conductor.
The conductor, Signor Pizzicato, rapped with his baton.
Gentlemen?
First, the violins danced a pretty little tune on their strings. Then they cried to the flute, "Catch!" "Got it," cried the flute. "My turn," tooted the trumpet. And the rest joined in. The cello, the oboe, bassoon, while Tubby went oompa oompa. "Catch me," cried the little tune. "Catch me."
Got you.
"Oh, you're sitting on me," said the little tune. Poor Tubby picked up the sad little tune and tried to squeeze it back into shape. "You clumsy fool," snapped the violin.
I'm sorry, Mr. Fiddle.
"Fiddle indeed," and the violins quivered with great anger. "You will please address us as violins. Fiddle indeed."
Tubby, what's the matter?
Please, sir, I thought it would be so nice to dance with the pretty little tune instead of going oompa oompa all the time.
"Dance," laughed the violins. "Really?" The French horn quietly put his hand to his mouth and smiled. And all the instruments in the orchestra began to laugh.
Tubby, tubas don't dance. At their very best, they waddle. All right, the rehearsal is over.
Tubby sadly walked home with his friend the piccolo.
Don't feel bad, Tubby. I'm sure Signor Pizzicato didn't mean it.
No, it's true. I'll never be able to play anything but oompa oompa. Good night, Piccolo.
Good night.
Tubby went to the river and sat down on a log and looked at his reflection in the moonlight. The trees whispered in the wind. The waterfalls tinkled. And a hoot owl hooted. Suddenly, a big bullfrog hopped out of the water and sat down beside him.
Mark, Mark, beautiful evening, Mark, Mark, beautiful night.
But Tubby just sat.
Well, if I'm not one. Oh, please, Mr. Frog, come back. I didn't mean to be impolite.
Back hopped the frog.
Oh, that's all right. I'm used to it. No one pays any attention to me.
Really?
Of course. Every night I sit here and sing my heart out. But does anyone listen to me? No.
Can you sing?
Can I sing? Listen.
Oh, that's lovely.
You try it.
But I'm not supposed to carry a melody.
That's what they told me, but you heard for yourself. I have a voice like a mockingbird. Go ahead, try it. Say, you're a very fine tuba, do you know it? You should try that with your orchestra sometime.
I will. Goodbye, Mr. Frog.
Fine boy, that tuba. Really appreciates good music.
The next day, the orchestra was busy tuning up for the rehearsal and awaiting the arrival of Signor Pizzicato.
All right, gentlemen, we will commence.
And Tubby began to play his own little melody. Oh, that wretched tuba will disgrace us, snapped the violins. The trombone stuck out his tongue. And the trumpet snickered.
Gentlemen, please. We have never heard a tuba play a melody before. Tubby, continue.
Why, how perfectly wonderful, said the strings. Please, Tubby, may we sing your tune, too? How about me, cried the xylophone. And me, said the trombone. May I, said the Celeste.
Here I come.
And they all played.
We've done it, haven't we, Tubby?
It was the bullfrog sitting right beside Tubby.
My boy, you sound almost like a bullfrog.
This made Tubby very happy, which he remained forever after.